This video was brought to you by marketplace.tf. It's essentially an online marketplace where you can both buy and sell thousands of Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2 items. Also on the site, you can get a personalized store in which you can link people to all the items that you're selling. There is also an auctions tab where you can essentially bid on items in an attempt to win them for a good price. The link to marketplace.tf will be down below. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a brand new video. And today I'm going to be talking about something that happened pretty recently that is pretty important in regards to just sort of the whole trading climate in not only TF2 but just sort of Valve games as a whole. And this is just something that could impact everyone and is impacting everyone as we talk. So today I'm going to be talking about the Arcana in Dota 2 being made untradable, what this means for CSGO and TF2 trading, and what this means for the future of trading as a whole. So if you don't know, CSGO keys got made untradable in October of 2019 with a blog post that reads the following. Starting today, CSGO container keys purchased in-game can no longer leave the purchasing account. That is, they cannot be sold on the Steam community market or traded. Pre-existing container keys are unaffected and they can still be sold and traded. So essentially what it means is you can no longer buy CSGO keys and trade them, right? If you're gonna have CSGO keys for trading, they have to have been already pre-existing. So that essentially completely eradicated CSGO keys from their economy. This was pretty damaging to CSGO's trading because way back in March of 2018 they already made some big changes to the CSGO trading system by implementing a 7-day cooldown on items that are purchased or traded. For example, if you trade for a CSGO knife or a CSGO skin, you cannot trade that item for at least 7 days. You have to keep it in your inventory for 7 days. So it was already incredibly limiting how you could trade CSGO skins because you couldn't instantly buy and flip, you couldn't put it on a trade site and get something back instantly because there was this trade hold now. So people were using keys as like a currency, as they do in every economy. So when Valve made the keys untradable, CSGO traders needed a new currency, and for this they looked to Dota 2 at the Arcana items. Now I don't play Dota 2 at all, I think that's pretty evident in the way I'm going to be talking about this, so if you have any information that I maybe missed out about these items then leave it down below. But essentially their function in game is completely irrelevant for how the people in CSGO were using them. The perks of using the Arcana are that they have stable prices. They don't have trade hold, which is really important if you're going to be using them as an economy. They have a high price, similar to things like the Max's head and the earbuds were back in the day, and they were easy to sell. It was essentially just waiting to be used as a currency. So CSGO traders decided to use Arcana items as a main currency in trading. They were essentially a replacement for keys after they were made untradable. They had that stable price, so you could never like really lose money just by hoarding them in your inventory. And as soon as you receive one, you're instantly able to trade it or sell it again, meaning that there's no real downside to receiving and using these Arcanas in your inventory. If you have 10 of them in your inventory, you can instantly trade them again, and they can be used for quick money to someone you trade them to. Say someone wants to cash out, but they don't want to sell their knife to one of the CSGO sites, they can just sell it to you for Arcanas, and then those Arcana provide a super easy cash out method. That was, however, until yesterday, when Valve released a silent update with no blog post, no update notes or anything, where they've implemented a trade cooldown to these Arcana items as well. So essentially now, if you receive an Arcana item in a trade, you're not able to trade it again for at least a week, meaning the whole trading process, once again, exactly like it happened with the skin slowdown, is that everything just gets slowed down to essentially a halt, and you can't really use them as a currency anymore. Put it into perspective, imagine working at a store and someone gives you like a £10 note to pay for something, and then you can't give that £10 note to anyone else for 7 days. Like, that's essentially what we're working with here. I know that analogy isn't quite relatable to this sort of situation, but it puts into perspective that it essentially renders the whole currency completely useless if it can't be quickly traded from peer to peer, right? That's the point I'm getting at here. And you can definitely see the amount of people that had these Arcana items who weren't using them in Dota 2. Like, the amount of people that were using these as a currency is definitely reflected in the prices. We see significant drops in pretty much a price history for every one of these since the trading cooldown was implemented. So, I mean, they didn't release a blog post, they didn't release a statement about this anywhere. So why did they implement this? Why did they randomly implement a trade hold to Arcana items in Dota? Maybe they cottoned on to the fact that they were being used as a trading currency, but I don't think they'd mind that all too much. There must be something a bit more sinister that made them implement this. Were they being used on gambling sites as some sort of like CSGO to Dota currency conversion? Who knows? My suspicion is that it's definitely got to be gambling related or money laundering related, as that's the reason they did it with the CSGO skins as well. And nothing's confirmed though. We'd have to wait for Valve to release a statement, but if they're working in Valve time, I can't imagine them doing that anytime soon. So we're just sort of left in the dark, as always with Valve. But what does this mean for the future of trading? What's next for CSGO trading, and what does this mean for future currencies that CSGO traders decide to use? Well, there's one glaringly obvious currency that CSGO traders are seeming to be looking towards, and it's the TF2 key. I mean, the TF2 key has had a stable price for years. It never really dips below a certain amount, and they're super easy to obtain. I mean, if you buy them on a site like Marketplace TF, manco.trader, etc., they're instantly tradable, so they're super easy just to cash straight in to that Steam trading economy. You can instantly invest your money into it and have some pure ready to get trading with. They're instantly tradable, there's no trade hold on them, so if you've received some keys and a trade for your knife, you instantly have those keys ready to cash out or ready to trade further. There's no real reason that the TF2 key wouldn't be used. However, we've not got a great track record. Like, I saw a pretty good meme that got sent to me on Twitter, which perfectly summarized where this is probably gonna go. So do we have any reason to worry? Not at the moment, because there's no evidence to suggest that the TF2 key has been picked up by these traders or these gambling sites or these shady people and has started to be used for these shady purposes, right? However, if there does seem to be evidence that starts to back that up, the TF2 key is in a lot of danger, and with TF2 being in such a fragile state at the moment, with no new content being added, complete update droughts and lack of communication from Valve, this could put the trading scene in TF2 in a very, very dangerous situation. If the main currency for TF2 trading gets taken away, a lot of people will just cash out of the game, meaning there's going to be like a market crash and stuff like that. But what that also means is that a lot of people still play Team Fortress 2 because they're invested in the game. You know, they've got $100, $1,000, thousands of dollars inventories, so they don't want to just stop playing the game. You know, they have these items that they're proud of. But if that economy just slowly disintegrates with the main currency of the game being taken away, I think a good portion of players will unfortunately leave the game. Of course, in the grand scheme, like, it doesn't mean that the game's gonna die, it just means like a lot of the traders will see incentive to cash out, you know? But of course, this is all just completely hypothetical, nothing's happened yet, and I don't want to create any sort of like panic selling or any sort of panics surrounding the economy in Team Fortress 2. But we have to think realistically. I can't imagine traders are going to be using Battalion 1944 or H1Z1 Battle Royale items to be trading with. So in my opinion, I do believe that the TF2 key is the glaringly obvious and most likely going to be the next trading currency within CSGO until it gets that trade restriction. And once it gets that trade restriction, who knows what's next? Maybe Max's heads, earbuds, as they seem to hold a pretty stable price. But even then, that's just another hit to TF2 that, I mean, we really can't take right now. TF2 is, I don't want to say TF2 is on its last legs, but there's no real reason to continue playing TF2 if no content keeps getting added to the game. And if trading gets disregarded and the main currency of TF2 gets disregarded, then it does put the game in an even more fragile state, and it is very, very worrying. But guys, that is just about it for this video. If you did enjoy, then please do remember to leave a like and let me know your thoughts down below. And let me know what your thoughts are on this whole sort of topic. Do you think that keys may not be the next currency? Is there an even more glaringly obvious currency that I'm just not aware of? I mean, I'm not invested into the Dota trading scene or any other trading scene outside of TF2 and CSGO partially. So it will be super interesting if there is another currency that I've been overlooking just because I'm not aware of it, and the TF2 key could be safe. All we can do now though is just wait and hope that Valve don't completely finish off TF2 once and for all by completely taking out the trading scene. Thank you guys again very much for watching, and peace.